So, hi there everybody, great to be with you all again. We are live. Let's see how the change of times affects us. So it's really good to see we've got Patricia, and hi there to Nadia, and hi to Manisco as well. Okay, we were doing this article about giving Rorschach tests to artificial intelligence and trying to find out what it thought about them. So I think without further ado, let's go straight to it. Okay, and here we go. ChatGPT and tools like it are always helpful, always conscientious, always conversational, mouthy, lippy, brash. Hi Ty4, lovely to see you. So, yes, this is, they're saying that ChatGPT normally and these things, they're always very nice. Yeah, they always sound very nice, very conscientious, hard-working, and conversational, mouthy, lippy, or brash. I think these are, well, I think the answer to this one is reasonably easy. Maybe you don't know some of the words, so let's look at these in a second. Let's see if we get some answers first. Okay, so, well, conversational, says Nadia. Okay, let's see, conversational. Conversational, hi Vitali, says Vitali. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Let's see. Brash, says Typhal. Somebody who is brash is very confident, always has an answer for everything. They always know better than everyone else. They always have the right answer. They're always doing the right thing. Brash to me reminds me of a second-hand car salesman, or somebody who is good at hard sell. Yeah, this is brash. Lippy and mouthy, I think, are both the same. They are somebody who's always answering back. So a kid could be very mouthy or very lippy. Conversational, says Patricia. Somebody who's lippy, talking about the lips and the mouth, is somebody who's always answering you back. Somebody who's always questioning your decisions, or questioning what you say unreasonably. Always making jokes about you. And I think there's both mouthy and lippy. Somebody who's mouthy, yeah, they're talking probably when they shouldn't be. They're both fairly informal words as well. Conversational, very definitely. Whoops. So, okay, conversational. Okay, Patricia, very good. Whoops. Finally. Okay, P, I would say you are lippy, maybe a bit mouthy, but not brash. Let's see, somebody who's brash is not so nice. Somebody who's brash always has a ready answer for everything. Also, they sound overconfident, particularly when they shouldn't be. Okay. The anthropomorphising, making them look like humans, of these tools has helped their adoption. But it can soil, blur, muddy, dim the waters around how and their outputs are received. So to anthropomorphize, to make seem like a human. Okay, so Vitali says muddy the waters. Okay, so they've made the ChatGPT very human-like, and this has helped people to be able to use them. Oh, that's probably better. Okay, muddy, says Nadia. Dim the waters. Notice Manisco. This phrase, the waters, to muddy the waters, this is a collocation. It can help dim our understanding. Here, dim is as a verb, to decrease the intensity of light. Let's see. To soil is to make dirty. I've soiled my clean trousers. To blur, if I take off my glasses, everything is a blur. To muddy the waters, very definitely. You don't dim the waters, you muddy the waters. And if by muddying the waters, things are not clear. I'm not sure if I've got an idiom about muddy the waters. Hi Nad, lovely to see you. I'm going to put I can muddy the waters. Okay, so to muddy the waters, to make things more confusing. A teacher who gives explanations that are not clear muddies the waters. They make things more difficult to understand. Great to have you, Nad. Well done. And one way of stripping, uncovering, displaying, unwrapping that unreality is by simply pressing the refresh button, says Ghosh. So one way of stripping that unreality, uncovering that unreality, displaying that unreality, unwrapping that unreality, is by simply pressing the refresh button. So Nadia says uncovering. Vitali says unwrapping. It's about showing Rorschach tests to artificial intelligence. Rorschach tests are these inkblots where it looks like a butterfly or it looks like gosh knows what. Okay, if I take off my glasses, I'll paint like Monet before he got his glasses. So, this is interesting. Uncovering for Nadia, unwrapping for Vitali, unwrapping for Manisco, displaying for Nad. Let's see what Patricia says. It's interesting. So, one way of stripping that unreality, uncovering that unreality, displaying that unreality, unwrapping that unreality. This is actually quite an interesting one. Let's see. I don't think I would use the word stripping. One way of stripping the mask away from that unreality. Patricia goes for uncovering. Displaying is to put on display. They display pictures in a museum, and you unwrap a parcel. I would uncover it. Obscurum per obscurus. I would go for uncovering. Whoops. Well, one way of uncovering that reality is by pressing the refresh button. Present ChatGPT with the same inkblot image to analyse, and it would come up with a totally different interpretation in the same conversation. Strip teasing, reinventing, reinterpreting, obscurum per obscurius. So, will for Vitali, wood for Nav. May well, says Manisco. This is quite interesting. Okay, so may well, says Patricia. May well, says Nadia. Okay, so would, notice present is a present tense. It's a present imperative. Present, if you present, when you present, it's a present simple. ChatGPT with the same inkblot to analyse, and it has the possibility, or has the ability. Will always does it. Would doesn't work, and may well, very probably, it may well come up with. So may well could. There is a high probability. The reason I don't like will is because it says it definitely, and I think it's possible that ChatGPT might repeat the same thing. I think will works. Will come up with a totally different interpretation, and I think both will and may well work very nicely. Okay. We gave ChatGPT the same image twice, and the AI did. Yeah, will as along the same lines as the present simple. Yes. When we gave ChatGPT the same image twice, the AI did certainly, really, truly, indeed give different responses. Indeed for Nad, indeed for Vitali. So the AI did certainly give different responses, did really give different responses, did truly give different responses, did indeed give different responses. Indeed for Typhor, indeed for Patricia. Manisco goes for certainly. Did certainly give. I don't think I would ever use certainly here. Did certainly. I guess it would work. No, the best one very clearly is indeed. Because indeed is saying in reality, indeed for Nadia as well. Did, indeed, in reality, it's what it did, give different responses. It did truly give. So that, are they certainly different? Are they truly different? I think did really give. I think they would all work, but indeed is much, much, much better. In reality, this indeed is amplifying, it's adding emphasis. A human would typically follow, adhere, stick, abide, persevere to their previous answer, because personal experiences and emotions influence their responses, says Ghosh. A lot of soft toys. Your favourite is Dumbo. Stick, says nah. Adhere to, says Vitali. Stick, says Nadia. Stick, says Manisco. So, a human would typically persevere with their previous answer, abide by their previous answer, follow, no preposition, stick to, same grammar, less formal, adhere to. Adhere works. Stick, says Patricia. Stick, says Alex. Hi Alex, lovely to see you. Okay, they use stick to, but I think I would accept abide. Whoops, I would accept okay, certainly did indeed. Okay, stick to. I think adhere to would also work quite nicely. It stuck to its previous answer, but humans have things invested. Adhere to a rule. Yes, but the Chat GPT is probably adhering to rules. But yes, it could adhere to its previous answer. That's why stick to me is a better answer. In variance, in opposition, in contrast, in contradiction, Chat GPT generates responses based on its data set. So contrast says nah, in contrast says Vitali. Dudu. Peluches in Spanish, Patricia, but it soft toy in English. In contrast says Manisco. In opposition, in contrast, I don't think in opposition, ChatGPT. Let's see. He's working in he is in opposition to my proposal. I don't think it quite fits. Cling to, adhere to, hew to, stick to. In contrast, says Alex. In contrast, says Nadia. In contrast. Okay, so in opposition to, it's talking about a fight. No. In contrast. In contrast, very definitely. It generates responses based on its data set. Okay, that's part of the... So, whoops, I need to paste this here. That's part of the problem when trying to deduce, suppose, infer, judge meaning in what ChatGPT says about the inkblots it sees. The chatbot is simply regurgitating what its training data has encountered. Oh, but you see, that's a dummy. The kids always putting a dummy in their mouth, but that's slightly different. Hi there, Victoria. Lovely to see you. So, infer, says Vitali. That's part of the problem when trying to deduce meaning in what, suppose meaning in what, infer meaning in what, judge meaning in what. Manisco says judge, but it's not a dummy, yes. Trying to deduce meaning. A pacifier, that's the American one for it. To infer meaning in what it sees. Bear with me 1 second. To infer. To see the evidence and come to or see the situation and come to a conclusion. You're wet, so your hair is wet, so I infer you've just had a shower. 1 second, bear with me. So I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, infer. So for example, he tried to pay me in American dollars, so I infer that he lives in the US. To infer, to form an opinion or make a judgment about something based on something. To give the best estimate based on the evidence, data you have. Those are good descriptions. When trying to deduce meaning in, I'm not very happy with that deduce in. Suppose meaning in. To judge meaning from. To infer meaning. Do inference based on their training data set. Yeah, it's infer. To infer. Whoops. What am I doing? Like this. Based on evidence, yes. So the answer is to infer. You see the evidence and you make a judgment. Okay, so let's continue. We've done this one again. Stuffed toy is a British phrase. A stuffed toy. A stuffed toy, a soft toy. A plush toy, Nadia, as the Americans would say. This is perhaps best displayed, exhibited, exposed, demonstrated by an experiment by researchers at Media Lab at MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So this is best displayed, best exhibited, best exposed, best demonstrated. Give the shrinks a run for their zeal. Okay, so demonstrated for Nada and Vitaly and Alex. Manisco goes for exposed. Nadia for demonstrated. Let's see. Display, as I said, demonstrated for Victoria. Demonstrated for Patricia. Let's see, you display items in a museum, or they display things in a shop window for sale. The exhibit's definitely in a museum or an exhibition. No. To expose, the journalist exposed a scandal. So to demonstrate, to show. Illustrated, good word, Patricia, yes. Exemplified. This is perhaps best exemplified. I like the word exemplified. I think it fits very nicely. By an experiment. They trained an AI algorithm called Norman after Norman Bates. Let's try it like that. They trained an AI algorithm called Norman, named after Alfred Hitchcock's character Norman Bates, on images from a Reddit group that shares images of people dying in eerie, vicious, gruesome, noxious circumstances. So Vitaly says gruesome. Alex says gruesome. Okay, let's look at some of these. Noxious. Noxious normally means poisonous. A noxious gas. Gruesome, says Victoria. Vicious, says Manisco. Okay, Manisco, be careful of this word vicious. Vicious normally means aggressive. A vicious dog. I was bitten by a vicious dog. Vicious, wanting to hurt. The skinhead punched me viciously. The press made a vicious attack, an aggressive attack. The opposite of vicious is virtuous. Gruesome for Patricia and gruesome for Nadia. Eerie is spooky, is like a haunted house. Ooh. So the eerie music starts the film. Vicious, aggressive, exciting and titillating. Noxious is poisonous. Gruesome is horrible, unpleasant, with blood and not a nice way. Gruesome implies dismembered bodies and people getting killed and things like that. People, the ambulances that respond to car crashes very often see gruesome things. Very often these zombie films are gruesome. When they showed Norman a set of Rorschach inkblots, the images it described seeing reminisced, reflected, reverberated, rebounded the darkness it had been trained upon. Is a bloody well bloody. Is bloody well bloody. Love it, yeah. Bloody, covered in blood, body parts. So, when they showed Norman a set of Rorschach inkblots, the images it described seeing reminisced, reflected, reverberated, rebounded the darkness it had been trained upon. Reflected, says Vitali. Reflected, says Patricia. Reflected, says Nadia. I wanted to use the word mirrored. Okay, reverberate is a sound. The music reverberated in the room. This is talking about vibrations. Reflected for Nad. So to the sound of the drums reverberated through the house. The music made the window reverberate, tremble, move. And then you can use reverberate metaphorically, Victoria. So the scandal reverberated throughout society. Reflected, yes, for the right answer. So well done all of you with reflected. To reminisce, a person reminisces. Reverberated means echoed because it's being reflected from multiple surfaces. Yes, and notice reverberation is talking about sound primarily. A person reminisces, they remember the past. The ball rebounded. Sometimes you add a little reverb to an audio recording to make it sound more natural. Yes, but reflected, mirrored, copied. So the artificial intelligence reflected the darkness it's seen. Transposed. You see, to transpose is to change from one thing to another. Investment in the public transport system transposed the system, to transpose, to change from one thing into another, to change from one place to another. I wouldn't use transposed. Reflected, echoed would work quite nicely. Mirrored, showed. And while an algorithm trained on a more normal set circle, band, pack of image data would see a group of birds on a tree branch. Norman described seeing a man being electrocuted. So set for Vitali, set for Nad, set for Alex, set for Manisco. Well done, Manisco. Maybe you're transposing one language for another, swapping from one place to another. Set for Victoria. I think transpose, is to exchange one thing for another. So look at this: a pack of dogs, a pack of wolves. Set for Victoria and Patricia. A band, a band of travellers, a circle of or a circle of readers, but a set of data. Yes, Norman seems to have a predilection for the macabre, and that's what they are showing, that if you give the AI macabre inputs, it will only give you macabre outputs. But I think this is probably the same with humans as well. If you only give humans macabre inputs, they will only give you macabre outputs. Okay. Oh, I quite like this one. It is a harsh, stark, blunt, sheer illustration of just how important the data used to train an AI can be. Hi Julia, lovely to see you. We're about to finish, but it's great to have you. It's great to know you're still okay. Stark for Vitali, harsh for Nad, sheer for Julia, I love it, sheer for Victoria. Okay, let me help you with some of these then. Harsh means hard. Stark means black and white, juxtaposition. Stark for keyword. Blunt means direct, without mincing your words. And sheer means absolute. Dawit goes for stark. Hi Dawit, great to have you. Between harsh and stark. You see, I think harsh though, normally it talks about something that's hard, harsh weather. Nadia's got changed for stark. Let's see, a sheer cliff, vertical. This is sheer nonsense, absolute total nonsense. This is sheer idiocy, complete idiocy. Blunt. This work is very bad. That's blunt, it's very direct. Stark, a stark contrast, a stark difference. Something that is very clear and easy to see is stark. A stark landscape with almost nothing in it. Victoria's now thinking about blunt and harsh, harsh weather, a harsh decision, a harsh climate. And I think this question, by the way, is by far the hardest question we've had. Okay, so the answer is stark enough to be harsh. Alex will go for blunt. It was stark. Okay, it's a stark illustration. It's something that shows very clearly, glaring, a glaring illustration, an outright illustration. That's very good. These are all quite hard words. Okay. So a harsh decision, a harsh punishment, a stark choice. Stark is black and white. You're now being brash. Okay, Patricia, that was brash. Yes. If somebody is blunt, they say things directly. And sheer, absolute. So I like that very much, keyword. I think stark shows the reality of a situation in a plain way. Yes, it shows the reality in a plain way. That's a very good description. Brash is for someone very confident, though he really looks a second-hand car salesman. He's not always right in his point of view. Yes, Typhel, that's very good. Somebody who is very confident, even when they shouldn't be confident because they don't know what they're talking about. A harsh reality. That's very good, DeWitt. Okay, I think this is a really good one to finish on, because these are all really good words for you to use. The harsh reality of life, the stark landscape on the moon, a blunt appraisal of his shortcomings, a sheer wall. This is sheer madness. This is vertical, absolute, total. Okay, ladies and gents, I'm going to stop here for today. Next stream will be on Thursday. It's been a pleasure. I'm sorry that you missed it, DeWitt. Thursday, let me try and get that right, will be on Thursday, which will be the 3rd of and if the madness has method, it could be of April at 3:30 UK time. It's okay, Julia. It's going to happen to everyone. Stark is similar to austere here. Yes, I think a stark choice. The austere is a very good word. That's the problem with these words, Alex, is all of these words are very difficult to give clear, easy synonyms. A lazy student. It's good to see you, Polly. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Typhel. Hi, Ranchodas. Perjury is swearing in court, is lying in court. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and then you don't tell the truth. That's perjury. Perjury is lying in court. Okay, so hi Ranchodas, hi Polly, hi ACR4 as well. So I need to say some thanks to everybody here. Metropolitan, I just wrote that down this morning. Belonging to a city, Metropolitan Police. So, thank you to ACR4, thank you to Alex, thank you to DeWitt, thank you to Julia, thank you to Keyword, thank you to Manisco, thank you to Nadia, thank you to Nad, thank you to Patricia, thank you to Polly, thank you to Ranchodas, thank you to Typhel, thank you to Victoria, and thank you to Vitali. It's wonderful to have you. Bye bye, my friends, and take